Greetings and
Wait a
salutations.
minute. All right, go ahead.
Greetings and salutations to all you hep cats and cool kittens out there in internet land. My name is Malcolm Tent. Normally I would say that I'm from Danbury, Connecticut, but that's not true anymore, baby. I'm from Newton, North Carolina. And if you are paying attention, you'll notice that it is a Tuesday, 7 o'clock p.m., which is why you're seeing, well, I mean, you're seeing me, but that's beside the point. What you're about to see right here is a man who you normally see right here, right now, feeling free, feeling wow, feeling kind of pow. The long-haired weirdo himself, the arbiter of all things cultural, the man who needs no introduction whatsoever at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, but who is going to get an introduction anyway, whether you like it or not, whether you want to love it or lump it. I present to you the long-haired weirdo himself, Mr. J. Clayton.
Thank you, Malcolm Tent.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what we got to do.
What do we got to do?
I got to get on here and check Facebook to make sure we're not vertical.
Oh, man. Well, you know, we could always just do it like this if it turns out that the camera's pointed wrong.
If we are vertical, we will bail out for a second, and then, as Grand Funk once sang, we will do it to get back in.
Either way, technology will not defeat us. You see these two guys? You think technology can defeat either one of us?
Do you think we're afraid of technology?
Pshaw.
Oh.
I mean, I did just see a 3-year-old arm wrestle him right down to the table. But technology?
No, we had a little arm wrestling tournament. And we are vertical.
Look at that. We're vertical.
All right, everybody, we're going to bail out and come back in.
Right.
Please join us. Oh,
but don't lose that intro, man. That was a great intro.
Yeah, we're going to keep it. But we're going to bail out.
Technology.
Good gosh.
Technology.
Except give it a little bit more energy.
A little more energy, okay.
Yeah.
I can do it. Is it on?
It's on.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladles and Germans, latelys and germains, I got something to tell you right now. It's news. Depending on your worldview, it's either good news or it's bad news. But the thing is, you can't stop the news from coming every single day. The news happens whether you like it or not. It happens at 7 o'clock p.m. on a Tuesday on this social media platform that we call Facebook. We chain ourselves to it every Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. because we have a suspicion, a feeling that something's going to happen. Something's going to happen right here on this Facebook platform of social media. And you know what it is? You know what it is because you're watching it right here of your own free volition, of your own free will. You tuned into this thing because you want it, and now you're going to get it. Jeff Clayton.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel great. I feel good. I feel real good.
All right, now let's see if we are.
Did that even go out on the air? I mean, I'll do it a third time if I have to, but geez.
You know what? We might just do a whole night full. There you are.
Hey, there I am.
And you're vertical.
I love it. Life is good. Life is good. Felt good.
All right, now let's see. No, you're horizontal.
Did that even go out on the air?
What is that?
I mean, I'll do it a third time. See, we're watching ourselves. What do you think of that?
You know what? We might just do a whole night full. There you are. No, we're listening to ourselves.
We sound good. I think we sound good. We look really good, too.
All right.
We are the best.
Here we ams. All right. Now I've got it to where I can't see that. Man, I can't do it. All right, there we go.
We want to see the people reacting. Man. That's the only reason
there
we
we
do
go.
this. It's like pushing buttons.
We'll go ahead and say hello to who all is it. Alan, Brian, Mondo, Katie After Dark, Matt Gaston, Mondo again, Wesley Dixon. And there's more coming in the door. Pulling up a chair, wanting to sit down and break on through a little bit, Malcolm Tent.
I think we're ready for them. I hope they're ready for us.
I think they will be. Man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. There's a lot of activity. Lots of activity going on in ANTiSEEN world today. But what I'd like to do first is we're sitting here with our break on through brews. I got water. Malcolm has some of that good old fashioned Kentucky hibiscus tea.
So good too.
From Clintonsville, Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're trying to change that address to Clintonsville, North Carolina. Just saying. But it sure is good no matter where it comes from. Thank you, Zillas.
But anyway, we would like to make a toast and wish a happy birthday to the one and the only Miss Marla V. Branson Bad. Marla, this is to you. Many, many more in the best of health. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Clinton, do you think you could take our false start and edit it with our actual start that took? So we have a blooper at the beginning of Break On Through on YouTube? Is that possible?
I'll bet he can do it.
I bet he can do it.
He's probably done it already.
It's probably already happened.
I can't keep up with that guy.
I know. Well, we got a lot, like I said, we got lots of news, and we also have a special feature that Malcolm talked me into like seconds before we arrived on Break On Through late. So I think you're going to be very happy with tonight's program. But the first thing, I got one more toast. Not even a toast. I would like to offer my condolences to one of the guys that's been doing artwork for us for the past couple of years, especially since the Ultra lineup has come to be, and that is Mr. Mike Harper, who yesterday or the day before, his wife lost her battle with cancer. So, Mike, if you're listening, man, we give you our deepest condolences, our prayers, and we hope you're going to be okay. And actually, you know, if you need to talk to old JC, I'm here for you. Give me a call. You know where to get me. And so there. We hate to have to report the bad news, but that is life. We got the good and the bad. So let's bounce back to the good. And I'm talking about live rock and roll like these people ain't never, ever, and even ever seen.
So true.
And it's going to be happening in just a couple days. 2 days.
Hey, yeah.
February 27th. Now, if you're walking around going, man, something's happening. Something's got to be happening at the end of the month. If you're thinking about this program, then you are correct. Because on February 27th at the Grind Cafe, the Grind Cafe in Morganton, North Carolina, you will see live on stage, no tapes, just live rock and roll from Malcolm Tent and Joe Buck yourself. Look at this flyer. And that flyer the flyer alone makes you want to go.
And just in case, I don't know if we're backwards or forwards today, but if we're backwards, there it is, compensating.
No, see, we're correct today.
Oh, all right. So we have it both ways.
All right.
For any dyslexics out there.
So go ahead and show it to them backwards just for old time's sake.
There you go. Now you can have your toast and the butter as well. Look at that flyer. Custom made by somebody in Morganton, North Carolina. Don't know the name of the artist, but that's real art. And that's advertising a real gig. Me and Joe Buck yourself at the Grind Cafe in Morganton, North Carolina. Thursday. This coming Thursday. And I believe tickets are almost sold out, but not quite. So it's not too late. You don't have to live a life of wretched despair. You still can get a ticket to come see me and Joe Buck yourself in a solo acoustic punk rock shred extravaganza.
And we're talking about live.
This is live. This is not AI. This is not a bot. This is not made in China. This is 100% authentic. Born in the USA. Far better than Bruce Springsteen on a good day even. Me and Joe Buck. I've got my sparkly blue acoustic guitar. I've got a lucky 13 songs. Some of them you'll probably recognize.
Oh, yeah?
From a certain rockin' teenage combo that I play the bass for.
Well, there you go. There's all the incentive you need. All the incentive you need to actually get up off the couch and do something on Thursday night.
Yes. Do it!
But hey, I'm going to tell you something else.
What else?
That's February 27th. But if you happen to be in the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area, you just happen to be there.
Just happen to be there.
Hey, I'm in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, how did I get here? But how I'm here.
A couple of days later on March 1st. Or maybe you should intentionally arrange it so that you are in the area.
Not a bad idea.
On March 1st, and you should go to the Switchyard. Should we just leave it at that, or should we give more details?
Well, you know, the Switchyard is a really excellent venue. We played a great show there.
Yeah, we did.
Mr. Walt Wheat made his debut with ANTiSEEN in that area at the Switchyard.
Yeah. That's when he showed the hometown crowd that he really knows how to cut a rug.
Indeed. So, you know, we might as well just give him all of these.
All right, here's all the details. If you go and you pay to get in at the door, and you pack them on in on the dance floor, you'll be listening to the rockin' sounds of I Hate God and Before I Hang, and some other groups who have not paid me enough to remember their names and say it on this ad, but there's other groups. But Before I Hang and I Hate God, live. Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Switch Yard. March 1st. March 1st, Malcolm.
March 1st. So close. So close.
So close, but yet so far away.
But worth the trip and worth staying alive until March 1st. Do not croak between now and then. We don't want you to anyway, but you really have incentive now. March 1st. February 27th, March 1st. We got these people living for days and days now.
For days and days.
How can
But I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give you about 6 more reasons to keep on pushing. Because the very next day after the show at the Switchyard, maybe it's not the next day. What is the first?
Well, the first is, it's the first. I don't know, Thursday is 27th, 28th. Saturday the 1st.
Okay, so Tuesday. The Tuesday after that, Walt Wheat will find himself right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. He will be my guest on Break On Through, which I have not discussed with him yet, but he's here. He just found out when all of you found out, and we're going to go have us a little toe tapping practice on Wednesday, and then a string of shows that the world has never experienced, like the world has never seen ever.
It's true. It's true.
March 6th. That's 5 days after the 1st.
Yes.
We will be in Piedmont, South Carolina. Y'all don't never play Piedmont. We're going to play Piedmont on March 6th at Tribbles. And one of the bands opening it for us is Blue Ridge Death Cult that features Zach Embray as the front man and main board walker. And as Malcolm can attest, I was making my notes quickly as we came on late and flipped around. So I don't remember the other. There's 2 bands, but we'll be at Tribbles in Piedmont on the 6th. On the 7th, Friday night, the 7th of March, an event that you never in your wildest dreams could have dreamed up. Well, first of all, ANTiSEEN is going to be there. That's fantasy material right there. Friday night, Atlanta, Star Bar, ANTiSEEN. That's like It's a Small World After All, Disney miracle stuff. But add Atlanta's very own Big Foot and the overseer of the entire evening. The man with the plan, the madman from the Sudan, the one and the only innovator and originator of hardcore wrestling. It didn't exist before this guy. Sitting right there live, overseeing this entire event, will be the one and only Abdullah the Butcher. All night, doing it right, making sure everything is tight. And I'm telling you, man, you're not going to know what to do. You're going to be dancing on the floor, and then you're going to be going and getting your picture made with Abdullah the Butcher, getting autographs, buying some good ANTiSEEN stuff. It's going to be a night to remember. Matter of fact, I wish I was going to this show as a patron, not a performer and crooner.
It's the price you got to pay, though.
It is the price I got to pay.
You know, Abdullah is the overseer, but we're kind of like the fulcrum of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It all turns on the rock and roll and the teenage combo, the teenage rockin' combo. But Abdullah the Butcher, I've said this before, and I might say it again, like as a youth, as a child, sitting in front of WCIX Channel 6 on Saturday afternoons watching Championship Wrestling from Florida, watching Abdullah the Butcher carve up one opponent after the other, I never would have, not even dreamed, hallucinated the scenario where Abdullah the Butcher would not only come to see ANTiSEEN, a band I would play in someday, but would also share the event with us a second time. Impossible to even think of. Abdullah the Butcher, man. That's the real deal.
So, I mean, I don't know what else can urge you. Everyone's like, hey, man, you need to come play. What's a remote town in the Midwest?
Let's say Pittston, Pennsylvania.
What's it called?
Pittston.
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 You need to come play Pittston, Pennsylvania. Well, no, you know what? We're playing Atlanta. With Abdullah the Butcher there, live all night long. That, to me, sounds like road trip. We can't do it. We can't either, but we just drove 4 hours to go do it. So, you need to make the arrangements to arrange to be at this once-in-a-lifetime event.
It's true.
And I know that once you've done that, man, you're going to be on this rock and roll high that you cannot come down from, and you're going to need a little dose of Hair of the Dog. And I'm not talking about the song by Nazareth. I'm talking about you're going to need more. And to get it, you're not going to be able to stay in Atlanta. You're going to have to travel. You're going to have to get out on the open road. But let me tell you, don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. You need to get down to Johnny Mac's in Fairhope, Alabama, where we are going to be there live. And I'm going to tell you what, it's just like every show we do. Man, we bring quality guests that makes our shows not just your standard rock and roll show that you go and just sit there and sip a beer and lean on the bar and look at. No. These are events. We do cultural events. And in Fairhope, we will be bringing the lovely country sounds of Miss Kelsey Ray Copeland. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. Malcolm, let's let that sink in for a second. Stare at him. And Mobile, Alabama's favorite sons and daughter. I'm talking about the one and only Future Hate. From the time you walk in the door to the time you stumble out at the end of the night, it is going to be an evening of pure magic. Pure magic. Pure magic. You're going to think Doug Henning is in the building because there's going to be so much magic.
Yeah.
You're going to think this is a David Copperfield show because there's going to be so much magic.
Blackstone Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I know you're going, well, damn, guys, you just gave us 5 shows to go to. You got, yeah, I got some more. I got some more for you. In April, that is the month that comes after March, for those who are uninformed and not in the know. On April 17th, we will be at the West Side Bowl in Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh. And you can bowl. Yes, it is a bowling alley. You can bowl at any time during the evening that you want. And they got a record store there, and
Really, really good food.
yeah, the chow was good.
Yeah.
I look forward to every single show we play, and every show we play has got different reasons to look forward to it.
I agree.
But you know, I'm a record store geek and maniac, and I do like to eat, and I like to bowl too. Last time we were there, I didn't have time to go bowling. I hope I can get a couple of frames in at this game.
Well, it's the first show of the run, so we usually turn up pretty early. So yeah, you can bowl. The next night, a very, very close distance. April 18th, we'll be in Cleveland, Ohio, a rock and roll town if there ever was a rock and roll town. And we will be at Dunlap's in Cleveland. I have no information on who our opening acts will be, but knowing all the people we know in Cleveland, I think it's going to be some quality stuff. So, you need to make plans to be in Cleveland.
Cleveland is a great town. I've played many shows there with different bands and as a solo, and I cannot wait to tread the boards with the almighty ANTiSEEN in Cleveland, baby. Because Cleveland does rock.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Yeah. I'll sip to that.
And then on April 19th, an exclusive, I can't say private, but an exclusive, what word am I looking for this program? This is like a exclusive showcase.
Yeah.
For the great state of New Jersey, where we will be at Studio 67 in Medford, New Jersey. And guess what? No opening bands. Just us. Just us. Malcolm, it's going to be justice.
Just us.
Justice.
And justice.
Justice will be served.
On a platter.
A silver platter.
Heaping with
Stuff.
stuff.
Just us.
Just us.
This show is being brought to you by the Order of the Sacred Crow Tattoo. Our big, big, big fan, Amy Nicoletto, is putting on this program on her own. So, man, if you want to come out and see how it's done, see the number one, the band who originates from the land of the rising sun, you need to come out to Studio 67 on April 19th in Medford, New Jersey. That's all I got to say about all that. Now, Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
What are we going to do tonight? Are we going to play the game, or are we going to do this right here?
Well, you know, I've got this because I brought materials to play the game. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. I got those materials, but you delivered a teaser last week, very casually. This guy right here, very casually, just kind of let it slip that he exhumed some previously thought lost and forgotten storage tubs that just happen to be chock full of ANTiSEEN and G.G. Allen and who even knows what else, artifacts from days gone by. And he just kind of casually let that drift off into the ether, never to be heard of or thought of again. But I must say, Jefferson Clayton, you did make a grave error, because it is my job as Minister of for ANTiSEEN Incorporated to remember things like this. And my curiosity was really piqued about the contents of those storage tubs.
Well, like I said, I only got through one.
You only got through one!
And, all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show it off to you right now. I don't have anything priced. So if you see something that is of interest, contact me on my Facebook page on Messenger. But
I called dibs, man. I got.
Oh, you're right here.
I caught here the firstest with the mostest. So, and it's like I don't know what's in this pile. This is a complete cold unveiling for me and all of you. It's so close I can touch it, but I'm not going to touch it.
To be honest with you, I don't even know what all's in this thing.
This is great. I love this kind of stuff. It's like an archaeological dig. Oh, I know what those are.
Yeah, you know these, don't you?
Oh, man. Yeah.
I don't know where number one is.
I think I'm missing a few of those myself. I got that one.
All right, well, the first thing I found a bunch of pristine copies of the infamous Alan King of Hellstopper fanzine, Kill the Scene. The first one I'm going to show you here is a number 5. With Nature Boy Ric Flair on the cover. Look at that.
Woo!
How old is this, Malcolm? You know?
Oh, man, it's got to be early 90s, 91, 92, I would guess.
I don't know.
It's a nice shape, too. It's in much better shape than mine.
I don't know. We wrote dates on this stuff. But,
and then let's
you're right. It's got to be 92.
Yeah.
At least, right?
Has to be. Because you figure his...
All right, there's Mad Brother Ward.
That.
What year was that?
That was 91.
Okay, see, look at that ad for Mad Brother Ward.
On TPOS Productions.
All right.
Whoa.
Now here, I have issue number 6. Which features G.G. Allen on the cover. Kevin Sullivan on the back. I guess you know that what's in between will be pretty action-packed.
That's what we call a culture sandwich right there.
Yeah, that's it. Boy,
oh, look at that guy. Look at that.
Great pictures of me from back in the day.
Long-haired weirdo of some sort.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, man, that scared me. Good gosh.
It's a little bit daunting, but there it is.
Oh, man.
Wow.
A cover, Kill the Scene number 8 with Mad Brother Ward on the front. Look at there.
Who would have ever guessed when that issue came out in 1990, whatever, that very same guy would someday be a full-fledged member of ANTiSEEN?
And I'm sure there's some stuff in here that had you on it, and who would have thought that you would have been a full-fledged member of ANTiSEEN?
I know. See, I don't have that one.
This is issue number 3 of Kill the Scene. Let me tell you how I got this. This is the first one I ever got, I think. Because we were on stage at the Masquerade in Atlanta. And, you know, it was ANTiSEEN in Atlanta back in the 90s, so there wasn't a whole lot of people there. We were not deemed cool enough. But we were cool enough that Smashing Pumpkins left from recording an album or something in Atlanta and came out to the show.
No kidding.
And we were also cool enough that a young Alan King took this issue right here, this very one, and tossed it on stage in between my feet before we walked off stage.
No fooling.
And that's it. That's some history right there, son.
That's proactive.
A number 4 with Bloody Mess and the Scabs on the cover.
I don't have that one either.
I think there were 10 issues. Am I right?
Don't know.
And here's number 7. I have several copies of number 7.
Oh yes.
Look at there.
The cover band gets the spoils apparently.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
All right, so some very nice condition. Kill the scene. I gotta be careful with this stuff. I don't like having it out. Now this I found, which I am going to board and bag and save it for my grandson.
Ooh, I see something
Coleman.
great here. Oh my god.
This is original American version from 1973, maybe 4.
Hey, it's upside down too.
Well, we're doing good with that. And
Yeah, look at
Godzilla versus the Bionic Monster, which was originally called Mecha Godzilla.
I saw that in the theater when it came out.
I did too. Yep. Maybe this was 74, because I think Godzilla versus Megalon was 73.
Yeah, that one came first, right?
Yeah, Megalon was first.
Hmm. That's a work of art right there.
That is not for sale. To quote Girl School, not for sale, not for sale. All right, look at this. Look at these items right here. Malcolm, can you tell what this is? These are the halftone photos used on the Judas Bullethead EP and the Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats.
Wow.
These are the negatives of what back then you can't tell it. But these were called halftones. See, if you wanted to do something for print, you had to get a halftone, which is nothing but dots.
Yeah, it's got the key on the side.
And this is the front and back picture of Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats, and the picture of me and Tom that that was used on If They Itch Scratch. No, Honest is Just a Cold Sore. Bullethead. Because all those records came out at the same time.
Very cool. Yeah, you kind of.
Here is the original photo, the original black and white photo used for the Slime Goats EP. Look at that nice, crisp,
that's beautiful.
black and white photo there.
Yeah.
With the late, great Doug Throgmorton in the back wearing a Mickey Mouse Club hat.
I never noticed that. Oh, that's so funny.
Now see, here is what was used as the cover. Now missing is the typesetting. See, I didn't do typesetting back then. I just drew stuff right on it, and I'd cut it out and paste it on. But here, this was the original Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats 7-inch cover.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's all hand-drawn, cut and paste, glue and scissors.
Yep. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, I recognize that one. Wow.
Yeah, this is the original photo used on the back of the Masters of the Sky 7-inch. Great photo of us in '93 on the top floor of the great club from Kortrijk, Belgium, called the Pits, one of our favorite places on the planet to play. I really hope that Walt and Malcolm will experience what it's like to play the Pits.
The way you
with
described
ANTiSEEN.
the way you described it, I hope I get to experience that too. It sounds completely
And I'm
nuts.
telling you, from time number 1 to the last time we were there in 2016, there has never been a bum time. It gets more fun each time we play.
Right on.
All right, you know that cover I just showed you? There's the Jeff Clayton and the Slime Goats logo that fell off of it. Because glue stick just don't last, how many years? 30-something years. There's that.
Oh, yeah. Is that, what is
Man,
that?
I don't know that this... Well, that's the original photo.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm a little perplexed about this. I have the original... No, this is not the original cover. But there are the original photos for If They Itch Scratching with me and Tom. But I think I sold the original for this. No, it's right here. It's right here. But there's that one.
It's like a weird hybrid of some sort.
Here is
oh man.
Here is the original, and that Live at the Yellow Rose
Yeah.
fell off, but I can put it back on because I am artistic.
As
The
long
cassette.
as long as you still got glue stick, you're in business. And there it is. That one's near and dear to
That's
my
the
heart.
original. Hey man, what do you think about a TPOS cassette release of this again?
I'll never do it again.
All right.
Never.
Because you never sold one.
I sold one or two. We had an agreement that
That we wouldn't do it ever again. Right.
once all the unsold copies of that record were destroyed, that was the end of it. And I did smash a few of them.
But there is the original cassette cover.
Whoa! Look at that! Dang.
I was talking to my friend Mike Cook from upstate New York, who is in the Triangle area right now doing research for his book on Dexter Romweber.
Oh, okay.
I talked to him last night. He is the one that took this photo, and you will all recognize where this comes from. You'll recognize what it is. This is what that album cover was taken from. This right here. Eat More Possum.
Just out of curiosity, what led him to not only take that picture but give it to you?
Him and his friend of his, Doug Presley, were riding around one night in the back roads of Hickory, North Carolina.
Oh, Hickory, yeah.
An area you're familiar with.
Very familiar, yes.
And they saw that this had happened, judging from the color of the blood, probably less than an hour before they came up with it. And Mike was always interested in weird imagery and taking photos, and he took this, and for some reason, a possum with its bowels squished out to one side and bleeding from every hole that he has made him think of me. And he gave me the photo, and not only did I like the photo, I used it on what has become one of our probably most classic albums of all time.
Yeah.
And you're saying, and you're probably even thinking, damn, Jeff Clayton, do you still have that kind of artistic mind to do something like that? Oh, okay. Let me tell you something. An upcoming album for ANTiSEEN will have the title, and I've had this title for about 15 years. But I'm going to say the title to the audience, and I'm going to let them put two and two together, as I will also let you put two and two together. But one of the next albums we do, new studio albums, is going to be called Oh Dear, It's ANTiSEEN.
Enough said.
I'll just put it to you this way. Walt Wheat came in with an emergency report text just last week. I'll show you examples before you leave. Here is the original cover of If They Itch, Scratch Them by Judas Bullhead. Now, here's what happened. You see, I showed you where we had those two photos. Well, those two photos had to be turned into halftones. Remember I was telling you about the halftone dot? These are the halftones that were used for the printing. Now let me show you some, what year was this? 1986.
Jeez.
Let me show you some 1986 editing.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes when I'm writing, they say, now part of the charm of my handwritten covers is to purposely spell the words wrong.
Oh,
You know, like Slade. But, or Little Rascals, or, something. But, I did one where it was just so messed up you could not read it. And rather than do this all over again, and my very primitive knowledge and access to materials when I was doing it, look at this editing job. I'm going to show Malcolm first, then I'll show all of you. Look at that. I cut it out. and
Wow.
glued it there so it wouldn't go nowhere. Bam. Probably had a little paste up line around it when it printed, but
I'll have to look at the finished product.
isn't that wonderful?
That's how you did it back in 1986.
like I'm not gonna do that all over again. You see the word Rogers on Frank Rogers? I cut it out and put a piece of paper behind it and wrote it again.
That's too much.
That's 1980s rock and roll right there.
Oh man, well that sheet right there you're about to pull out is something I've wished I had many a time when I was in need of an ANTiSEEN logo. Just a basic logo.
This is the first ever logo sheet that I copied every single logo from. This logo. Somewhere I have the actual. I don't even know what to say. This logo was designed for me by Mary Lloyd, lives here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And this was back in 1986. It's probably the first time where it appeared, which was EP Royalty,
Right.
where it first appeared. And so once I got someone to make me a reversal, this was my sheet. Oh, sorry, working class. But man, I'd Xerox 50 pages to where I had, dozens and hundreds and dozens and hundreds of ANTiSEEN logos at my disposal for anything we chose to do. Which sometimes we'd tear them up and paste them back, with glue stick.
Right.
Now, I'm looking for the actual labels from the Blood of Freaks record because I squared a deal with my main Suave, Robbie Suave from Spookies. But I've not run across those yet. But should I not be able to run across them, look what I found. You know how I did the little Mount Rushmore of ANTiSEEN on that record?
Yeah.
The record label?
That's it, huh?
That's the photos. You see, I had little photos. I cut them out.
Yep.
And I went to the Xerox machine. I was known as the Jimi Hendrix of the Xerox.
I believe it. Looking at that.
Look at this. What do y'all think of that?
No Photoshop. Weren't such a thing back then.
No Photoshop.
Scissors, maybe even an X-Acto knife.
Yeah.
And
X-Acto knife. I still have the wooden box of X-Acto knives that I used in art school.
Wow.
When I went to Central Piedmont Community College. Where the only reason I went, I guess I was supposed to be going to start a career in some kind of commercial art. Instead, I was doing it for ways to do cool stuff with my band.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
But
But
that
anyway.
education to good use,
Yeah, that's true. For anyone interested in this, it's a t-shirt front, but it can be used as a back patch or something.
A bib.
A bib. You can pretend you're in some kind of street gang and use it as some sort of bandana. There's all kinds of things you could do with it.
Ooh, now what's that?
This was... Oh, I don't know what this is.
Is that going to be a record?
No, these... Okay. Poland, Prague, and Belgium. I used to put... Matter of fact, I think I'm going to get Clayton Zilla to get these shows together, and we're going to put out another DVD. We're going to put out several DVDs of different time periods. And these shows were incredibly good. And at least the best I can remember. Anyway. But this was shrunk down to go on a envelope for a burned DVD.
Ah, right. Okay.
You know your little sleeves?
Yeah.
I just got it big, so that we shrink it down, and then the details look nice and sharp when you shrink them down.
Well, you got the cover. The disc certainly must follow.
Yeah. All right, I got G.G. Allen stuff. Now, some of this stuff is incomplete, but but it will be for sale. This is a envelope sent to me, and this is when he was. I think this is jailed again.
Jailed again.
Okay, that must have been the first. I don't know. But there's some. That's his handwriting on the envelope. Here is the pamphlet he made about his ending his life for his mission, and it is autographed. See,
I might have to call dibs on that one, kids. I've never seen that.
Yeah. See, I ran off tons of these for him.
Right.
And he sent me back one autograph.
Nice. Oh, that's an original.
These are paper stickers. I'm going to start with the latest, going to the earliest. Now, paper sticker, you're like, paper sticker, they don't stick it. I'm going to tell you what, you can't get a paper sticker off nothing. Now, it may not look good after a few months, but this is from the time I spent as the singer of the Murder Junkies in '94. I have 2 of these, to the best of my knowledge.
They work great indoors. We'll just say that.
Oh, yeah, they're great indoors. Then, and I think this is the only one I have of this, but this was from when they did the Terror in America tour.
Never saw one of those either.
Yeah. Big paper stickers.
I do remember those.
Now one of these used to stay at the, positioned on one of the little cross beams that go across the front of the stage at the Milestone for decades. I don't think it got pulled off. I think it just wore off. But original.
Wow.
Now this is something I really want to dig into, and maybe we need to talk about some kind of project to do with these.
Yeah.
These are the negatives.
Oh, I see a name.
Negatives, and these photos were taken by Teresa Catco.
Okay.
In Boone, North Carolina on October 1st. Do you know what happened in Boone, North Carolina on October 1st?
1983.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, boy. Look at
Negatives from the very first ANTiSEEN show. Looks like a lot from the other bands, but there's some of us. I am interested in the ones of us. But I will sell the ones of the other bands too.
Might want to contact the Fetch and Bones people. They might be.
Yeah, I think there might be some. This is a noise lineup. Rehearsal at Dave Rams's house.
Have those ever been published anywhere? Or printed or anything?
Individual photos of us were like. See, there's a lot of me, Doug, Tom, but we used individual photos, but not many at all.
Huh.
Be something worth seeing for real.
Very interesting.
Here, one of the very first G.G. Allen promotional photographs when he was doing something for Ever Rat Records.
Probably the antisocial personality disorder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is going to see an official reissue on TPOS from a newly discovered upgraded master tape. Just saying.
That was a cassette.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here's the famous. Who took those? Richard Kern?
Oh yeah, Kern. I'm pretty sure it's Richard Kern. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it's amazing to see these in person with the genuine 8x10 glossies and not the 45th generation photocopies that we're so used to.
Here, speaking of Alan King and Kill the Scene and all that, here is and I do have a couple of these, and it's autographed by Merle, Dino, William Gilmore Weber, and myself. Murder Junkies Tour Diary, written by Alan King. And man, I mean, it would be impossible for me to read this now because the text is so small. But if you have a way to read it, this is a good read. Autographed.
Dollar store cheaters and squint. It can be done.
An ad that appeared in, I think...
Oh, wow. Never seen that before.
I don't remember. This is one of the only ads that ever appeared of the original record we did with him.
That's from Flipside. I recognize that.
Malcolm, we're not going to get through all this.
I know. This is just the contents of one tub, and you
One
should
tub.
see the stack of paper.
Look here. I'm going to
there.
show you what's happening here. Look at that. It's like each sheet is a piece of history. I still got 2 more tubs to go through and a bunch of little... I tell you what, we'll do 4 more things.
Okay,
We'll call
4
it a
more
night.
items. 4 more.
This is an article of Gigi from Flipside.
Some great photos.
Flipside number 53, spring and summer of '88. Yeah, these were like the photos that made their way around the country. Everybody really knew what was going down at that point. Like, this was the first time that in photos that the Gigi Allen experience was captured.
That was all the Cat Club, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's Cat Club photos, correct. That Cat Club show was one that was like, went down in the annals, if you will, of Gigi history. Another Gigi ad from Flipside.
Dang. Did he actually pay for a full-page ad in Flipside?
I'm not thinking he paid for, I don't know though, man.
Maybe someone else did.
That's his address. I guess he did.
Wow.
Oaklawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he did. Gigi spent money. Boy, that was a rarity.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an ad Gigi spent money for. So that's rare on itself. Here's some forced exposure. Let's see what this is all about.
If it's forced exposure, there must be some ANTiSEEN in there somewhere.
Man, we used to get featured in forced exposure all the time.
Byron Coley was always a booster.
Yeah,
I
he
tell
loved-
you, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I actually ran into him maybe a couple of months ago, and he sent his regards.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Good guy.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's some stuff on Rocky Erickson. Maybe I kept it because of that. I don't know. Well, no, here's some A's. Yeah, Gigi Allen Dirty Love Songs. So, yeah, that's not very collectible, I guess. But here's the
From Maximum Rock
the
and
Maximum
Roll.
Rock and Roll that announced Gigi dying. And here's another Maximum Rock and Roll article. Where are those pictures from?
Ooh, I've never
That's
seen
disappointments, period. I think.
that. Yeah, I would say you're right.
Yeah.
Whose handwriting is that? It's not yours, is it?
No, I think that's Joe's, man.
Ah,
I really think it's Joe's.
Huh.
That's all right. It's not mine. Don't look comic book enough.
Another one of those.
Another, what was it? Number 7. Kill the Scene. In pristine condition, I might add. So flat. Probably had to pry it open with a screwdriver. Not that screwdriver.
Non-racist screwdriver, we swear. Honest.
An envelope addressed to me by Gigi and a note on the back with also signed by him just as Gigi. If you're interested, contact me. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let me skip something and see if I can find something really beautiful.
Oh, wait, what's
This I found, and I'm sure you guys know the artwork, the ANTiSEEN artwork of the caricature of me with the helmet
that? Yes.
singing into the microphone, done by Australian artist Donnie Rat.
Okay, didn't know Australian. I would have guessed Japanese. But
Well, I put the Japanese text at the bottom of it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, he did this and sent this to me. This is not the original, but sent to me over 24 years ago
oh wow.
of Sabu, signed by Donnie Rat. Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to this one. I think I want this one.
That's nice. Man.
And yet another press release. Meeting of the Superpowers, GGL and ANTiSEEN from 1991. A little ad for the album signed by GGL.
Meeting of the Superpowers. Apt. Very apt.
And man, I'm gonna tell you guys, I found a ton. This is gonna be the last one, but I found a ton of stuff like this. These, and to be honest with you, I'm amazed I kept this stuff. I'm amazed I kept it. But this is the actual flyer that I cut and paste. See, look, I was doing something, something else on this side. I'm just like, I need that piece of paper here. Let me make a flyer on it. And I cut out stuff. That logo is pasted on. Seducer logo pasted on. Picture. And then I drew around it. Original flyers. And I guess this one has got to be from, I don't know.
92, maybe?
Yeah. 92 or 3. Oh, Rax and Morganton. This is a show that Tom had made a comment on not long ago. He thought it was Lenore, but it was Morganton. But we played the last show we did was Munich. Skip a day, and then we play. It's like Munich, Morganton.
That's pretty cool.
Man, and I'm telling you what, I got a ton of these. A ton.
Yeah.
I will show one more thing.
One more.
One more.
One more. Give us one more. Let's have an encore. You're on a roll now, man. Don't break it.
I told Mondo about this, and he asked him what he thought a price would be, and his price is a little higher than what I thought, but I think he may be right. But this is the original Hell artwork done by Alex Skin Clark. And it is on a piece of wood. Look at that. What year was Hell?
That
the original 10-inch. 94. All right. Greg was still in.
94. Okay, you do better than I do.
Greg is still in. I think Greg quit in 94.
Because the CD has Very, and that was 96, 97, I guess.
I would just do one more.
All right, one more. One more.
Ric Flair's
man.
rookie picture signed by him. I got it signed from him at one of the openings of his Gold's Gym. Yeah, I'm not lying to you. That's Ric Flair.
Woo.
I think, one thing I think I've been very fortunate to have is I don't get questioned on my autographs. You know, people thinking, oh, is those real? That people know they're real.
Well, yeah.
Because I was there. I mean, there's plenty of documentation of what was going on at that time, and I was right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not one of those guys that would, sign a, I don't know, like a George Clinton record and sign George Clinton's name on it.
Yeah.
And then sell it.
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But these are all authentic. So, Malcolm Tim, thank you for coming tonight.
My pleasure.
It's been great to be your guest.
It's really great to be your host tonight here on, what's the name of the show? Break On Through.
On Tent Talks Through?
Oh, Tent Talks Through, yes. Break On Tunes.
Speaking of which, will there be a Tent Talks Tunes tomorrow night?
There will be a Tent Talks Tunes tomorrow night, yes. 7 o'clock p.m. tomorrow on my Facebook page. I just said Facebook with a straight face. And
No, yeah, you didn't say it with a funny voice.
Doesn't happen too often.
Rare episode.
Call me.
And by the way, I want to congratulate you on your psychological profile.
Oh, thank you.
Of GGL. If you have not seen that, and that subject matter interests you in the very least, it's like watching, honestly, it's like watching a very informative documentary. And man, I'm going to tell you what, you may think this odd, but I find myself listening to things more these days than watching them.
Yeah, sure.
And I put it on, and I was doing work in here and just letting it go. And man, it was like listening to a very, very good documentary. You know, you're not going to see any footage, so
Yeah.
you're not sad because you're not seeing anything.
Claytonzilla, could you post a link to the YouTube archive of the Malcolm Tent deep dive into the psychology of G.G. Allin, please? I ask you nicely, please. I'm glad you liked it, man. I really wanted to get beyond the your average YouTube psychiatrist who reads the Wikipedia entry and then gives his, at best, semi-informed opinion.
I noticed people bringing up our song GGPHD in the comments, and I just got to make something clear. When you were there and you knew what was going on, and you can form the very, very accurate story that you told, that's not GGPHD.
Right.
GGPHD is the people that were not even born before he died and act like they know everything.
Well, you know what Gigi would have wanted. And, well, you know what he meant.
You know, if we had $1 for every time we heard that from some goof, we wouldn't be doing Break On Through right now because we'd be too busy counting our money. You know what Gigi would have wanted? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. So, there you go.
You know, and neither do we. I mean, I had to throw that in. There's only one person who really knew. Like, we can give informed guesses, sure, but the only guy who actually knew died on June 27, 1993.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell that little thing that we talked about. Remember that hypothesis I came up with?
Yes.
It's not the most flattering, but I'm going to say this. There are some photos that were taken of the one and only Charlotte show he ever did at the Church of Musical Awareness on June 7th. Right? No,
I don't know.
That's not important. But, and I don't even remember the year. I guess 87.
87. That sounds about right. It had to be 87, I think.
I know there's a 7 involved. Yeah. But there were some photos taken. I'll tell you who took the photos. Mike Cook, the guy who took the cover photo for Eat More Possum. He also recorded the only audio source of that show that exists on planet Earth. Parts of it were turned into a record for repo. Parts of it have made its way to other things, but the thing in its entirety is going to make its way into TPOS world in the very near future. But he took photos from that show, and he had some good ones. Were they pro quality? No, but with the technology we have today, we sure could make those things look so much better than they actually were. But Mike took the pictures. I don't think he made an extra set. I would go on record as saying that he did not make an extra set. He gave them to me, thinking, if you guys are ever going to do anything with this, here they are. And I guess that was our intention. But back then, we used to Xerox stuff and use it as stationery. So we put all those pictures, the ones that would come out good, on a sheet, and we Xeroxed them. You said you saw a guy that had one.
Yeah.
But he got it from Joe Young.
Right.
Which makes sense as well. And I had the original color prints, and one day I didn't have them anymore. I couldn't find. We were going to put out the Carolina in My Ass for Repo Records, and we could not find any of the source photos anywhere. Fast forward to 1993, or no, 10-year anniversary, 2003.
Okay.
Fast forward to 2003, I'm at the home of Merle Allen when he lived in New Jersey. And I'm going through the massive about some photo albums. And lo and behold, there are all the photos from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know how you got them.
But...
And it wasn't really that important to me at the time, I suppose. But then when we started talking about it, 2007, 17, you know, almost 20 years later,
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking, how did Merle get copies of those photos? And I think Gigi took them from my house.
Probably.
That's the only way it could have happened.
Yeah.
Because and I'm not saying I was hoarding them, keeping them tight, you know, like didn't want anyone to get them. I was just like, I don't remember handing them over to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I always had them,
Right.
but one day I didn't,
Right.
and that's what I think happened.
I mean, judging by things that he himself said about doing stuff like that, I can't see how you're wrong. You know, seriously. He probably just, oh, these are pictures of me. I'll take them.
Yeah, it's like copyright.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, well, like I always say, thanks for coming and hanging out with me for a little bit. Thanks for sitting in, listening to Malcolm. And we're going to be rocking your socks off here real soon. You got all that info at the beginning of the show. I want to thank you for sitting here tonight. I love you. God loves you. Malcolm loves you. We'll see you next week right here. I almost said Tent Talks to on Break On Through. Break On Through. Good night, everybody.
What is this, a Japanese TV show? Cut! Cut! Cut!